Y'all see my cool sticker? Stay calm, pick a spot, and shoot it. I do like that. Super cool. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Love it, man. Love it. What's up, guys? Thank you so much for joining me today on Instinctive Addiction Archery. I'm your host, Jeff Phillips. Hope and pray, as always, you find something helpful out of this video, guys. Okay, third one in my series. Third video in my series about target panic. Dealing with target panic, okay? Guys, I promised you that I would bring you videos as I worked through my issues that I experienced in hunting season. Shooting a foot over a deer's back at 11 yards, not focusing, not getting into my anchor whatsoever. Basically, 3/4 draw, tugging on the string, letting it rip, brain screaming, shoot it, shoot it, shoot it, let it go, let it go, let it go. Okay, that's target panic. Okay, guys, it messed with me so bad because it had never happened in my career, and it got me really, really aggravated. So I decided, you know what, I'm not going to let this beat me. I'm going to find a way to work through this for 3D, for hunting, for everything. And guys, I promise you, I have made great improvements. I really have. Now, to say will it ever raise its head again, that's the unknown part. Nobody can say that. You can't. All you can do is shoot with confidence. And you gotta have confidence, and you gotta have fun. When you master a traditional bow, as far as a process, a way to shoot it accurate and consistent, that's about all you can do and maintain it. But when things like that creep in, you got to deal with them. You just got to deal with them. So what am I doing out here today, guys? This is the third video, and I wanted to show you a little bit of shooting and a little bit of what I'm doing, and I've adopted a little tiny bit different step in my process. It's not an additional step, it's a little bit of a replacement step. If you go back and you watch the second video, the last one, the one before this one actually, I had a 4-step process. And that was draw. First thing goes into my mind is draw the bow. Don't just tug, draw the bow. Go ahead, just like a compound. Draw that thing all the way. Max it out, okay? Draw it, hold it. Doesn't matter for how long, but you have to have in your mind a hold of some period of time, even if it's 1 second. You got to have a hold to establish the next one, which was focus. Okay, then push. The push is how I break the shot. Basically, when I'm at full draw and I'm locked, I use my back tension. Now I'm really focused on my back tension and pulling through that shot by pushing on my bow arm. Once I'm in position and I'm locked in and I have my feel, I have my anchor, as I expand the shot breaks. Okay, it does, and it's working really, really good for me. Okay, now during the third part, which is my focus step 3 in my shot cycle, my focus is going on, but part of my focus, I have started doing one thing, and it greatly helps me. It helps me personally. I'm not a gap shooter. I do not aim with the tip of the arrow. I'm an instinctive shooter, but I do shoot split vision. That means I trust my sight picture. My peripheral vision sees where my arrow is pointed in relation to that target, not looking at it as a aiming device, looking at the spot. But I can definitely see right and left and up and down naturally the path of the arrow. I can notice it out of my peripheral vision. That's called split vision shooting, guys, and a lot of people shoot that way. I do at distance. Now, close distance, no, I never ever pay attention. But you get me past 20 yards, I'm paying attention to where that arrow is at in relation to that target. I do, okay? And it works. But what I adopted in my third step is simply paying more attention to my arrow. paying more attention to its location, to the target. In other words, taking that little bit of extra time to verify my sight picture before I begin to try to break my shot has greatly helped me in my ability to, number one, make sure that I'm in my anchor. But the biggest thing, guys, besides paying any attention to an arrow, paying attention to anything, doing anything, number one thing that has helped me tremendously with target panic is focusing on my anchor. Focusing on my anchor. You say, well, Jeff, how do you do that? Okay, guys, I have figured out that this anchor against my face is the single most important thing of all of it. If my draw hand does not lock in and my elbow does not rotate and give me that feel, I have this finger right under this cheekbone here when I'm at full draw shooting 3 under. If I do not have that feel with my elbow up and my back trying to rotate around, I am not in my anchor. I'm not there. I'm short drawing the bow. I'm never going to shoot consistent. None of that stuff. So I'm focusing really, really hard on a consistent anchor point, getting tighter into my face. Getting tighter into my face has made a huge, huge difference for me. Now, it may not for you. You may shoot a tab. You might not anchor as close as I do. And this is my hunting bow here. This is a custom bow that I built back when we were building bows full time. It's a C2 recurve. I'm drawing 43 pounds with this bow. 43 pounds. All right, I got backed off my pounds. I was shooting 45 plus. Generally 47 8-pound bows is what I was shooting, and I found it more difficult for me to get through my process. I found it way more difficult for me. So I dropped back on my pounds a little bit. And I absolutely love it. I love it. So I'm going to shoot a couple times and show y'all what I'm doing, what it looks like when I look at a target, be it a 3D range or a real deer standing there and I'm picking my spot, whatever it is. And I am so honed and focused on where I want that arrow to go. I never take my eyes off the prize. That's just how I personally shoot. A lot of guys will just take a blank target, they will draw, then they will go through their focus and aiming process. I personally don't do that, and it's good if you can. But I never take my eyes off the prize. I am lined up, I've got tension on my bow, I've got it up, and I'm ready. And when I come into my draw, and I rotate into my anchor, my head goes down into the shot where my dominant eye has a perfect sight picture of where that arrow is going to go, and I'm looking exactly where I want it to go at the same time. And I make sure that my anchor is tight, that I am into my face. That helps me get the rotation. It helps me acquire everything that I'm trying to do. Here's what a typical shot looks like, guys. I'll shoot the doe. .12 ring, perfect shot. 12 ring, as good as it can possibly get. It cannot get any better than that. Okay. How did I just make that particular shot? Okay. I'll shoot the buck before I explain. I'll shoot the next target. We'll just do him the same way. Another 12. Okay. How am I able to do that? No matter what target it is, no matter what. Shooting instinctive, split vision. How? Because I am focused extremely hard from the minute I bring my bow up on exactly where I want my arrow to go. The rest is process. The rest of what happens is the execution of my shot process. Okay? So I focus and I think in my head. This is what has helped me tremendously. I think in my head, draw that bow, get into that anchor. Waiting for the feel. Okay? I have to wait for that feel. It's almost like I'm waiting for the touch. I'm waiting for that. It doesn't allow me to not draw my bow back completely, because I'm thinking, draw the bow, get the feel, hold the bow. You're not going to hold it if you're short drawn. If you're basically like what happened to me on that one shot that caused all of this. I got right here, and I let go. I was nowhere near this right here. I was right here. I was not in whatsoever. I was right here. So you don't hold if you're not in anchor, okay? You don't get your head into it. You don't rotate the elbow. You don't use back tension. You don't pull through that shot. You don't do any of that stuff. That's what I had to break. That's what I had to break, guys. So now, before I take a shot on any target, any deer, it doesn't matter what it is, whatever. Before I draw that string, I go through that process in my mind. And believe me, you got time. Don't think you don't. And I promise you, as much as I'm doing it now, if I had a running deer come up, I still believe I could do it. I still believe I could pull it off, just from repetition, from doing the same thing, you know, like over and over and over again. If you practice something enough, it gets programmed into your brain, and it becomes, you know, second nature. I mean, you don't have to do anything else. So my process is this. Focus is number one, because if you're not focused, and this is before the draw, before you draw the bow, for anything, you got to look and say, where exactly do I want my arrow to go? Then you begin the process. It begins. Draw the bow, hold the bow, focus, pay attention to where that sight picture is at. Make sure that, verify that sight picture is perfect, that it feels good. You know when that arrow is going to go where it's supposed to go before you ever release that string. You know. Believe me, you do. I do. Okay? But the biggest thing is this anchor, guys. It is the anchor. And I didn't really think about that. I went back and I watched previous videos. I watched different shots. I've watched all kinds of stuff. And there was so many times that I plucked the string. I didn't get my rotation. I didn't do a lot of things. Even if I hit, I still wasn't there, because my mental focus was not on getting into that anchor, getting the feel where I needed to go. And guys, you got to develop something that you're going to feel for every time. That's why I love a glove, because you can see how worn my bear paw glove is. It's so warm, but my gosh, it's just like my skin. It's like my hand. And I can feel my string, but it protects my fingers, but I can feel that feel in my face, that touch. So when I'm focused and I come into my draw, I bring my elbow up and I'm like, okay, I'm fixing to draw this bow. I'm fixing to draw it. My head goes down. I even barely squint my non-dominant eye just to give me a little bit more tunnel vision of my sight picture. I don't close it, but it's a natural squint, if you will, that gives me a way to hone in. Basically, I look, I line up, elbow comes up, I think about my process. I think, draw, hold, focus, push. And that's where it goes. And the whole time, when I come back, I've got that feel. When I am feeling that, it's always, always, always a decent shot. Decent. Never going to be far off. Not far at all. And in traditional 1 or 2 inches, it's still a good shot. I mean, you don't have to shoot quarters at 25 yards with a trad bow. It's great if you can, without aiming, using the tip of the arrow, any of that. If you can do it, do it. Okay? I'm looking for kill shots. I'm looking for consistency. Really close to where I want my arrow to go. And I shoot hunting weight arrows, 300 grains on the front. I mean, my whole setup right now, which I'm sure I'm going to do a little bit of playing with some 3D bows, 40-pound bows, 370, 80 grain arrows. I'm going to do some stuff like that because I want a light, fast arrow for 3D. You know, I mean, it's cool, it's fun. Right now, I'm still in hunting season. I've still got a little over a week. Matter of fact, I'm going this evening. A little over a week left here. We're into February. And, you know, I just want to get a shot. I want redemption. I really, really want redemption. But I have been shooting a lot. Really working on this process. I'll shoot the old bear right quick. Before I draw this bow, I'm thinking these steps. I don't just draw and shoot anymore. Those days are over for me. Before I draw this bow, an animal's life is in my hands. I don't want to wound something. I don't want a poor shot. If I'm shooting 3D, I want to shoot my best shot I can possibly shoot, and that's going to be that. But I cannot do it if I don't pause and mentally think about my process, which is draw, hold, focus, and push. That's my thing. But at the same time that I'm doing that, I'm already lined up, and the very first thing before I even start that process, my mind is already trained to think about that anchor. It is. That's part of my draw. It just is now. It's part of my feel. I can't even do my count without that. So it's my aid, if you will. It pushes me to get where I want to be. It does. Deep hook. I take a deep hook now. I don't light hook my bow anymore because I feel like I have more control if I take a little deeper, stiffer hook. Really lay that thumb down and hook that bowstring. It really helps me to rotate around into my face where I need to be. It really helps. Look at that. I love it. My confidence has come back where it was literally nothing. After all the years I've shot, literally nothing. It has come back and come back strong. And it's only because I have just grounded out working on a process that works for me, that will force me to do certain things and not allow me to cheat and to short draw the bow and to do all those things that I was doing. No, it doesn't allow it. I guess it's called a discipline shot, if you will. Wow. Absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome. All the time, man. And if I really want to aim, more or less, if I want to really study my sight picture in a shot and really analyze my arrow's sight picture, my bow's sight picture, that gives me even more time. I normally don't have to, but just a second, I don't have to because I'm already focused on the spot. My form is the same, and it's just basically verifying the picture. Is my arrow going to go where I want it to go, or is it not? And believe me, you will figure that out with your setup. Whatever your setup might be, you'll figure it out real quick. Absolutely perfect. Guys, I'm happy. I'm happy, man, because I'm back. Okay, so yeah, everybody can get down. So here's what I got to tell you. Don't you ever let target panic beat you down and make you quit. No. Find you a way to work through it. Get your confidence back and go for it. And enjoy it. It's a gift. It's the most fun thing that I know of you can possibly do. And it is a constant challenge. It's constant. That's why we do it. That's why we shoot these things. But guys, it is so rewarding and so fun. And I want you to have fun, no matter what kind of bow you got, what your arrows are, whatever. When you're shooting great, enjoy it. But hey, if you start shooting sloppy and your form starts breaking down, simply pause and think about what you're doing. Think about your process. Think step by step. How do I draw my bow? How do I hold? How do I anchor? How do I focus? How do I execute? And you're going to find that weak link. You're going to find that some part of it you've left out. You've dropped it, and it's caused a train wreck. Okay, that's what you're going to find out, guys. That's what happened to me. So anyway, I'm back and I'm happy. Love you guys so much. Thank you for joining me today on Instinctive Addiction Archery. I'm Jeff Phillips. Love you guys, and pray as always that you got something out of this. And if you have any questions, hey man, drop them in the comment box. I'll do my best to answer them. I stay as busy as I can be. It's hard for me to get to them all the time. You know, it may take me a day or two, but I promise I try my best to answer any questions that come about. I really try to, guys. Love you so much, and thank you for watching the channel. Love you guys so much. Till next time, goodbye.